My dad remarried only 8 months after my mom's death to a woman with 2 children, a son the same age as my daughter and me, just a year younger. They all moved into my dad's house while I was away at my aunt's house to celebrate my cousin's birthday on my mom's side. When I came home, I discovered that all my belongings were moved into the basement, disorganized. My room was taken over by my stepsister unexpectedly. I could have reacted better, but seeing all of this upset me. I yelled at my dad, telling him that he's a worthless father and that I couldn't believe he's putting me away in the basement to replace me with his new little family. My dad told me that he thought I wouldn't mind, and since the basement is bigger than my old room, and I'm older, I'll be going away to college soon anyway. I just don't understand this. I've been upfront with him about not wanting him to remarry so soon after my mom died, so why did he think I'd be okay with him going behind my back to move me to the basement? Maybe I have no right to request when or how long he should wait to get married, but I do feel like I have a right to at least know about a new room change that's coming up. I felt a mix of emotions. I locked myself in my new room, the basement. My stepmom is angry with me for reacting the way I did, and thinks my dad should ground me from basically everything. She said I'm being a selfish brat and never even tried to get to know her or her children, which is true. I kept to myself, but have been having difficulty accepting their relationship because of how soon my dad got with her after my mom died. He only waited a month to date his coworker. It doesn't feel right to me. I understand some people move on faster than others, but he could have waited for me to have more time to heal. Maybe I am the one in the wrong in this situation. Do you think I should apologize? I understand my stepsister and brother aren't at fault here. Obviously, I'm not the one at fault. It might have been inevitable that changes would need to be made in sleeping arrangements, and it might even be true that the basement is an upgrade. Still, it should never have been done without me being involved in the conversation, part of the decision, and present for the moves. It also means that all of my belongings have been gone through, because I'm guessing either my stepmom or stepsister packed all my stuff up. That would have made me angry more than anything. Someone else touching and going through all of my personal belongings. I would feel completely and utterly violated. That's just insane. What is my dad thinking about allowing that to happen? And to not even set everything up for me again is harsh. Is it possible for me to move in with my family? Although I'm guessing I want to be close to my dad. It's just a horrible situation. His new wife sounds just delightful. I hope she's not trying to erase all evidence of your mom. Like taking photos and stuff. If it happened to me, I would embarrass the heck out of my father. I would tell everyone about the garbage he did. I would have posted pictures of all my belongings strewn across the basement and captioned it. Came home to this. Apparently, I live alone in the basement now. I would also invite all my friends over to my basement lair and tell them I'm not welcome in the house and we have to hang out in the basement. I know it's the smarter move to suck up and get college paid for, but I'm petty. Your father sees this new family as a do-over family with his new wife not showing you a shred of respect. So I would tell your auntie and any other family members that this is the one case where flying monkeys are warranted because the one man who was supposed to have your back didn't. That he started dating a month after being widowed and remarried after 8 months. Either he was looking for companionship too fast, or there was already a relationship existing between them. I agree. I bet he was cheating on his wife. You cannot move on so quickly. Your father knew what he was doing was wrong, which is why he didn't discuss it with you. Instead, he let his new wife probably talk him into it. That's unfortunate. I'm a 30-year-old male. I've been dating my girlfriend, who is 32, for 2 years. Hannah's one of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet. She's always going out of her way for others, and is the most caring girl I've ever been with. For example, she leaves me notes around the house telling me how special I am, buys me pastries just because, and organizes special days out. She was very nervous about meeting my mom, who is 58, 18 months ago, as she wanted to connect and get. My mom, however, can be quite cold and dismissive. It's just how she is. And unfortunately, my mom just doesn't click with Hannah. My mom constantly comments and digs about Hannah, including in front of Hannah, but I usually try to ignore them and keep the peace. Hannah gets upset as she sometimes brings it up with me and worries that she's done something wrong, but generally she seems to cope well with it and ignores it. Last week, we ate Italian food at one of our family's favorite restaurants. I was sitting next to Hannah and my parents were opposite us next to each other. My mom asked to take our photo on her phone, and I could see how pleased Hannah looked that she asked. We smiled and posed, But then, once the photo was taken, my mom said, "Lovely, a photo of Josh, me, and his soon-to-be ex-girlfriend." My girlfriend's face dropped and she froze. She doesn't deal well with confrontation, and I could see she had started to get tears in her eyes. I could feel how upset she was next to me and how hard she was trying not to burst into full-on tears. My dad tells my mom she's being too harsh and that it's not a nice thing to say, but my mom brushes it off as a joke. I don't say anything because I don't want to make anything worse than it is. The rest of the meal happens smoothly. When Hannah and I get back to her place, she explodes at me, saying she's sick of how rude and unaccepting my mom is towards her. She's tired of the comments and wonders why I never stand up for her when my mom says hurtful things. She even called me a mama's boy. I apologize, but I don't see how saying anything could improve the situation. Am I an idiot for not defending my girlfriend? So your mom calls her your soon-to-be ex, and you just sit there like a stuffed animal, saying nothing and staring straight ahead. For Hannah's sake, I hope your mom is right. Her behavior is breakup worthy. Then you can go back to your mom, since she has such a hold on you. Ach, you are the idiot. What could you have said to make the situation better? You could have told your mom to stop with the snide remarks. You could have demanded an apology from her, or else you would cut off contact until she apologized. What you have now is not peace, and certainly not peace for Hannah. You are majorly the idiot. Apologize to your girlfriend, and then immediately send a note to your mother, telling her you are cutting her off until she apologizes for her hurtful comments. This is one of the most obvious cases of you being the idiot in history. You claim to love this woman, yet you allow your mother to be rude and disrespectful towards her. It's not an excuse to let your mom behave this way. Unless you want to be alone for the rest of your life. You must stand up for your girlfriend. My wife, 35, female NI 7, male, have been married for 10 years and have 2 kids, a young child and a pre-tween. Last year, my wife was offered a significant promotion at her job. It was a huge step up and a major boost to her career goals, but it required us to relocate. After discussing it, we decided she should take the opportunity. We moved about 6 months ago. I was able to find a new job in our new city, but I only get 10 vacation days for the first year. As part of her promotion, my wife received a lot more vacation time, 5 weeks to be exact. She has already used a couple of her weeks for trips with her friends or sisters. I stayed home with the kids while she was away. She also took the kids on a trip while I stayed home. She still has over 2 weeks of vacation time left. We've started discussing our holiday plans for this winter, and she wants to visit her parents for an extended stay. She wants to take time off around Christmas and New Year's and spend 2 weeks with them. I don't want to spend all my vacation just seeing her family. I told her that I would be okay with using 5 days or so, but I want to save time for myself to do things I enjoy, like she did. She got upset because she wanted us all to be together for the holidays, and since the kids have all that time off school anyway, it made sense to her that we would stay for a longer period of time. We also haven't seen her parents since we moved, so I understand why she wants to stay for a longer visit. I tried to compromise by offering to let her stay for as long as she wanted with the kids while I headed home early, but she didn't want to fly with both kids by herself, which I understand. However, I'm just trying to find a solution that works for both of us. She wants to start booking flights, but I'm not willing to use all my vacation time for one trip to see her family. This led to a huge fight because she wasn't willing to accept my compromises. I finally got angry and told her that she got to use as much time as she wanted to do fun things for herself while I watched the kids, and I wanted the same opportunity. I also reminded her that while she has new benefits from her new job, I had to start over and don't have the same options. She took this as me being resentful for moving, which isn't true. I'm happy for her promotion. And I'm not upset about relocating, but I am upset that she doesn't understand that my work circumstances are drastically different from hers now. I'm not willing to budge on this, and she's mad that I'm not simply going along with what she wants to do. I know it's important for her to see her family, but I just want the option to do fun things for myself like she did. She thinks I'm being petty and stubborn because I'm jealous of her promotion. I don't see anything wrong with my compromise, and she's not willing to compromise at all. She needs to understand that some people don't get more days off until later at the same job. She's not being considerate here. It's funny how she's been all about being with family, but flying alone with her 2 kids seems too much for her. It's also interesting that she's been fine with the kids when she set up her alone trips, but now she doesn't want to mind them for a flight home. They aren't even infants. I'm not the idiot in this situation. I hope she sees reason because my compromise is more than fair. I am babysitting my little brother, a young teen, while my parents visit a friend abroad who is on her deathbed. My girlfriend and brother got along well the first few days. Last night, we went bowling and then had dinner at a restaurant. It was a great night because we had so much fun. However, on our walk back home after dinner, my girlfriend and brother got into an argument about Stranger Things. It started as a fun little debate, but when my girlfriend corrected him, he didn't like it. Tree told her, "What do you know, Bakshan? You're just a dishwasher?" I was shocked and furious at him. When he saw her reactions, he tried to backtrack and apologize, but the damage was already done. He tried to backtrack, saying it was a dumb joke that he didn't mean. I told him to shut up and went to catch my girlfriend because she had walked away. I apologized for what he said and told her that he would do the same thing. I knew an apology wasn't enough, so I promised her I would give him a stern talk and ground him for the remaining time he'd be staying with us. She said that I didn't have to apologize because it wasn't my fault and that his apology wouldn't be sincere. So she asked me to leave him alone to teach him a lesson about not disrespecting women and throwing misogynistic insults. I told her I couldn't do that because it was late and I wasn't comfortable leaving him alone, especially since it was a 20-minute walk. She suggested I call an Uber for him because she wouldn't walk back with him. I refused again because he was my responsibility and I couldn't let him go with a stranger because if something happened to him, my parents would never forgive me. She sarcastically told me it felt nice being supported by her boyfriend when she just got insulted. She said that my brother wasn't a child and that many teenagers ride in Ubers alone, but since I wasn't interested in going with her, she'd call one for herself. During the walk back home, I told my brother that if he insulted my girlfriend or anyone else in my presence, he could forget that I was his brother. He started crying, but I was so angry that I told him to save his tears because he should have regretted what he said. After all, it was disrespectful and not because I threatened to cut him off. I informed him that he would not be allowed to leave the room except for the bathroom or to eat until our parents returned. So he kept sobbing the whole way back. When we arrived, my girlfriend had just been dropped off by her Uber. It was very awkward because they were both angry at me, and when we entered the house, they went directly to their rooms and closed the doors. So now I can't sleep and have been lying on the couch, wondering what I was supposed to do. From the crazy idea. Your young teen brother is still very much a child. He overstepped, but beyond a word of correction, this doesn't have to be a scorched earth situation. He needs to apologize. Your girlfriend, however, is supposed to be an adult. She was out of line, expecting you to abandon your brother on the sidewalk. She's the idiot for that. Now she's pouting in her room, another childish act. The poor brother already learned from this that he's disposable to me. I'd encourage a follow-up discussion. Yes, what he said was wrong, but your girlfriend overreacted, and I probably did more than I should have, hoping to appease her partially. It's good that I didn't completely cave to her unreasonable request. Still, her reaction feels dangerously similar to those who isolate their significant others from other friends or relatives in order to dominate or control them. Either way, I hope this behavior isn't a trend. You are the idiot. Calm down and take a look at yourself in the mirror. You might have acted responsibly when it came to staying with your brother, but not when it came to disciplining him. First off, never punish in anger because you can and will say something that you'll regret later, such as your stupid threat to cut him off if he said something you didn't like. And trust me, once you calm down and think about the situation, you will regret saying that. I'm a sucker for music and songwriting. I haven't written many songs, let alone recorded, but I had good inspiration, and I wrote a very special one for my girlfriend, who I've been with for 3 years. I even synthesized music for it, and I want to record it and personally give it to my girlfriend, since it's special for us. My family asked me to play them the song, since it's the first song I finished, and I did. My sister was very touched, and she asked me to play that song on her wedding day for her and her husband. I said I could try making another song for them if I have the time and inspiration, but I don't want to play this one because it's personal for my girlfriend and me, and it's about a relationship. She insisted that it was not a big deal, and she wanted me to play the song. Again, I said that I don't want to. It's personal. She then pulled the "It's my wedding" card. I'm your sister. Can't you do me this favor? Can't you make your sister happy? I said again, no. I told her I'd try to write one for her and her husband, but I'm not playing mine. Plus, it would be more touching for me to write them their own song. She and my parents then proceeded to claim that it would be more appropriate for me to sing that song for my sister and her husband on their wedding day, since they're now official with their relationship and not just boyfriend and girlfriend. But that hit the nail on the head. And I said, what? Screw you all for what you're doing. This isn't fair at all. And the fact that you're undermining my relationship to make a point is shitty. My parents, my sister, and her husband are now bugging me about this. They say I'm a very selfish person who can't do his sister a small favor, and I'm very uptight about this. Am I the idiot? Turns, not the idiot. Imagine the awkward chit-chat with relatives afterward, explaining the inspiration for the song came from your relationship with your girlfriend, but your sister wanted you to dedicate it to her. My petty side says, okay, sing it, but introduce it by saying who you wrote it for. Your sister is trying to straight up steal your sentiments and artistic work. Remain polite, but please let her know she ought to get lost. The level of entitlement is astounding. Yeah, you made this one-of-a-kind ode to your relationship and the person you love, but I'd really like it if it were all about me and my relationship instead. Girl, you are the idiot? Don't you think every wedding song ever was written about a different woman and man? People are joking around about the dedications, but you could have said something like, I wrote this song for my girlfriend. It's about the deep love she makes me feel. I think everyone deserves this kind of love in their lives, and I know my sister and her husband will share it for years and years to come. Obviously, you didn't write the song for your sister, but performing it at her wedding lets her and her husband enjoy your art, which they love and costs you nothing. So this was a weird hill for you to die on, and offering to write them a different song is not the same thing. Yeah, but this isn't just any general love song track from Target. They wanted a personal song. This is in no way personal, since it declares love for another person. Made this song for his girlfriend, not from the husband to the wife, pressuring Op to play his song at their wedding. Sheesh, you were entitled and so is the family. T Opes and Calvin CX sends to cheer us.